Financial freedom. Financial freedom means different things to different people, but there is something common to everyone. That is being free of financial stress caused by a lack of money to cover essential needs. In other words, if you have enough money to pay for all your essential needs for the rest of your life, then you are financially free. So, how much money must you have? Well, that depends on your current age, expected lifespan, and your desired lifestyle. However, these three variables interplay, for most people, a goal of $10 million would be a very safe number. So, how do you build a nest egg of $10 million? One way is by completing the 4 steps to financial freedom in the following sequence. Step number one is to buy term life insurance. Step number two is to eliminate debt. Step number three is to build a 6 month emergency fund. And step number four is to invest in a participating whole life policy. You have to crawl and walk before you can run. Investing without a 6 month emergency fund while still carrying debt and without adequate life insurance is like trying to run before you walk and crawl. It's backwards. Yet, that is exactly what most people do. The life insurance comes first because steps 2 to 4 require time, and irrespective of age, none of us has a guarantee of time and can die at any time because of an accident or illness. Debt elimination comes next because you are guaranteed an after tax return, which is the interest saved on the debt. For example, if you pay 19.99% on your credit card, you do so with after tax dollars, and not having to make that payment is equivalent to a return on investment of 19.99% after tax. Compare that to the stock market's non-guaranteed pre-tax average return of 8%. The next thing to do is to stay out of debt. Without a 6 month emergency fund, you will get back into debt because emergencies will occur. Most people deal with emergencies by using their credit cards and lines of credit. All you need is a couple of emergencies in a row and you will be carrying debt again. Finally, you cannot build a nest egg of $10 million without investments. The question is where to invest. Irrespective of your current age, income, and net worth, the place to start to invest is a minimum of 20% of your total gross household income in a participating whole life policy, which creates an immediate guaranteed tax-free estate, builds guaranteed tax-free cash value over time, has no market risk, no interest rate risk, is creditor protected, and probate free. This becomes your bedrock foundation. Steps 1 to 3 may already be completed for you, or can be completed immediately if you have the means, or may take months or even years depending on your income, assets, and liabilities. But do not skip them. Make sure they are completed before starting step number 4, however long it takes. Step number 4 is a continuous work in progress until you choose to retire, have to stop working because of your health, or until you have a net worth of at least $10 million. To begin, take a minimum of 20% of your total gross household income and allocate it as follows. Step 1 is to take 5% of that 20% to buy as much term life insurance that you can get. Make sure that it is convertible, includes a waiver of premium rider, a disability insurance rider, a critical illness insurance rider, and has a term of at least 10 years. Why? Because irrespective of your age, you can die or become disabled at any time as a result of an accident or illness. If you have dependents, the death benefit will replace your income for them. If you become disabled or critically ill, the disability and critical illness insurance riders will replace your income for you. If you do not have dependents and become disabled, convertibility of the policy will allow you to convert it into a permanent participating whole life policy without any proof of insurance, and the waiver of premiums will ensure that you no longer have to pay the premiums, ensuring that you can still avail yourself of all the benefits of a participating whole life policy that will be enumerated in step number 4. The 10-year term life insurance policy should buy you enough time to complete steps 2 and 3. Note, 20% of total gross household income is the absolute minimum you should be using. If you are able to use more than 20%, please do so, allocating it in the same proportion. Step number 2 is to use a minimum of 15% of the 20% of your total gross household income to reduce and eliminate all of your debts using a tool called the reverse debt snowball, which is fully explained at www.thereversedebtsnowball.xyz. Once step 2 is completed, step number 3 is to recycle that same 15% of your total gross household income into building a 6-month emergency fund in a tax-free savings account. To know the 6-month amount, just multiply your monthly income or cash requirements need by 6. Do not be concerned that the savings account earns little to no interest. This is not an investment account. We want the funds to be liquid and accessible in case of an emergency, and rest assured there will be emergencies. Once step 3 has been completed, step number 4 is to use a minimum of 20% of total gross household income, 5% from step number 1, plus 15% available from completion of step number 3, to convert the term life insurance policy from step number 1 into a participating whole life policy for all the advantages of a participating whole life policy listed here. Note, whenever an emergency arises and you use the emergency fund or a portion of it, use a portion of the 20% of gross household income of step number 4 to replenish the emergency fund until it is back to 6 times your monthly income requirement needs. Why invest in a participating whole life insurance policy instead of speculative investments such as the stock market, real estate, business, or any other investment? Because it is the most powerful financial asset class available to those who can qualify to get it, undergirded by an interplay of the following factors. First, our human nature. In particular, our propensity to spend rather than to save. The importance of financial guarantees at every stage of our lives. Uncertainty and volatility contribute to financial stress. Protection from taxes, debt interest, seizure by creditors, market risk, interest rate risk, inflation, and economic upheavals. Income taxes, which can be as high as 50%. There are creative ways to defer and eliminate tax, and yet most people are unaware of them and do nothing to minimize or eliminate taxes. Cash, which must be immediately available without encumbrances when most needed. Debt, particularly consumer debt at high interest rates, which is too easily and readily available. And finally, our limited time. Most people think in terms of the rest of their lives with no specific end date in mind, and hence fall into the trap of thinking that they have all the time in the world to get their financial houses in order. The truth is, we only have a 40-year window from age 25 to 65 to get our financial house in order, and depending on your current age, that window might already be much smaller for you to take any unnecessary risk in speculative investments. Reason number 1, forced saving. We all have good intentions to save, but unless it is forced upon us, it rarely happens. Even if we do save, chances are it does not last a lifetime because of our propensity to spend our savings and because of eroding factors beyond our control, such as taxes, market risk, inflation, health issues, and longevity. A participating whole life policy is designed for immediate estate creation and lifetime protection and savings. Reason number 2, topped up insurance. In which other asset class or investment do you get a topped up insurance component should you die at any time? All you will get is in an alternate investment is the net investment value up to that point. In a participating whole life policy, it is topped up to the insurance amount which is predetermined at the setup of the policy. Let me illustrate with an example. Here's an example of $1 million of participating whole life insurance on a 40-year-old male non-smoker. He can save the whole life insurance premiums of $23,523 in an alternate investment with a return of investment of, say, 5%. As you can see, in the first 23 years, even the pre-tax value of the alternate investment is less than the after-tax guaranteed death benefit. Beyond the 23rd year, you will find that the after-tax value of the non-guaranteed alternate investment, even assuming a low tax rate of only 25%, is always lower than the after-tax non-guaranteed total death benefit. Reason number 3, waiver of premiums. Which other investment program is self-completing if you become disabled and are unable to work as a result of an accident or illness? That's exactly what happens in a participating whole life insurance policy with a disability waiver of premium rider. Your premiums are waived and paid for by the insurance company, and your investment continues uninterrupted. Reason number 4, guaranteed death benefits. The basic death benefit in a participating whole life policy is a lifetime guarantee. Reason number 5, guaranteed premiums. The cost of insurance in a whole life policy is a lifetime guarantee. Reason number 6, guaranteed cash value. The guaranteed cash values of a whole life policy is a lifetime guarantee. Reason number 7, guaranteed increases of cash value. The increases of the guaranteed cash value are a lifetime guarantee. Reason number 8, guaranteed loan. A loan from or against the total cash value of a participating whole life policy at a predetermined interest rate is a lifetime guarantee. Compare that to the paperwork needed to get a loan from a bank or any other financial institution. In which other investment asset class can you get these 5 lifetime guarantees? Reason number 9, protection from income loss. The tax-free death benefit protects your dependents from the loss of your income by replacing it should you die at any time. Reason number 10, protection from market risk. All the guarantees mentioned are contractual guarantees of a participating whole life policy and not subject to the volatility of the stock market. Hence, there are no market risks. Reason number 11, protection from interest rate risk. All the guarantees are contractual guarantees and not subject to the changes in interest rates, as are for fixed income investments such as GICs and bonds. Hence, there is no interest rate risk. Reason number 12, protection from creditors. The death benefit and cash values of a whole life policy are exempt from seizure by creditors. This is not the case with investments in any other asset class. If you are successfully sued for damages caused by you, all of your assets will be seized in settling that claim. Some people might think that this is a non-issue if they are debt-free and not in business for themselves. This is not so. As a private individual with no debts, you could be involved in a car accident and maim some high-income earner, and damages could easily exceed the 1 million or 2 million liability limit usually carried on your auto insurance policy. Make no mistake, they will seize all your other assets for the balance. Reason number 13, protection from probate fees. Eventually, each one of us dies and our estates will have to be settled. Here is a table of the probate fees charged to validate a will in the various provinces of Canada for an estate of $1 million. As you can see, it can be as high as $16,257 in Nova Scotia. In a whole life policy, this is completely avoided if there is a named beneficiary, as the $1 million is paid directly to that beneficiary, bypassing the estate and hence avoiding probate fees. Reason number 14, tax-free death benefits. The death benefits paid out from a whole life policy are tax-free. Not so in the case of the other investment asset classes, unless they are designated as a tax-free savings account, which has a current upper contribution limit of $63,500. The tax bite of alternate investments can be as high as 50%. Yet many people do not factor in the tax consequences of their investments. It makes a huge difference when withdrawing from your investments. Reason number 15, tax-free dividend. A participating whole life policy can earn dividends, which are paid in addition to the cash value of the policy. These dividends are a return of premiums and hence are not subject to income tax. They are not guaranteed. However, most life insurance companies with participating whole life policies have been paying a dividend every year continuously since they started. Canada Life, for example, has continuously paid a dividend on its participating whole life policy every year since 1848. Reason number 16, tax-free cash value increases. The cash value in a participating whole life policy increases every year, but that growth is not taxable. Reason number 17, tax-free distribution of cash value. The cash value in a whole life policy can be borrowed against through a collateral assignment of the policy, and the proceeds of that loan are not taxable. Reason number 18, tax-free transfer. The tax-free death benefits of whole life policy are paid out directly to the named beneficiaries and hence transferred tax-free. Reason number 19, health fund. The cash values of a whole life policy can be paid out tax-free to fund various health issues that may arise during your lifetime, such as a disability, a critical illness, or even to fund long-term care needs. The alternative is to buy separate insurances for these. Most people, however, do not carry these other insurances, and when these health issues arise, they resort to debt or have to erode other assets that took them a lifetime to build. Reason number 20, retirement fund. The cash values of a participating whole life policy can be borrowed against to fund or to supplement retirement income. Let's visit the cash values available to that 40-year-old male with $1 million whole life policy at his retirement age 60, 20 years after buying the policy. As you can see, after 20 years, there's a guaranteed cash value of $416,954 that he can use for his retirement income or to supplement his retirement income. There is also a possibility of that amount being $719,708, though this latter amount is not guaranteed. Reason number 21, education fund. The cash values of participating whole life policy can also be borrowed against to fund your children or grandchildren's education or just to supplement their registered education savings plans if needed. Reason number 22, vested values. The cash values, increases of those cash values, dividends, paid up additional insurance, and the paid up additional insurance cash values, once declared and paid, are vested and cannot be reduced or taken away. This is not the case in alternate investments, which are subject to the volatility of the stock market, interest rates, and the economy. Reason number 23, CPP and OAS clawbacks and the alternative minimum tax. Loans borrowed against the cash value of a whole life insurance policy used to supplement retirement income are loans and not considered earned income, and hence do not enter into the income testing calculations used to calculate the clawbacks on CPP or QPP or even old age security, or in determining the alternative minimum tax. Reason number 24, the capital dividend account. Any tax-free death benefits paid to a corporation creates a capital dividend account balance which can be flowed out tax-free to its shareholders. This is one way corporations can use surplus retained earnings to distribute tax-free capital dividends to its shareholders. Reason number 25, loan repayments. The repayments of any loan borrowed against the cash value of a participating whole life policy are completely unstructured and flexible, which means you do not have to make any repayments if you so choose, as the lender has taken a lien against the total cash values of the policy and has agreed to capitalize the interest on the loan. Both the loan and the accumulated interest will be repaid from the tax-free death benefits upon the death of the borrower. While alternate investments such as bonds, stocks, and real estate can also be collateralized, they would, however, require a structured periodic repayment of the loan, which will reduce your income. Reason number 26, uninterrupted cash value growth. For many of the users of the total cash value suggested here, a loan is taken against the policy which is collateralized to the lender. When this happens, the policy's total cash value continues to grow uninterrupted as nothing has been taken out of the policy itself and only an external loan was created against it. Reason number 27, return on investment. The dividend scale in a participating whole life policy averaged 6% after tax. Compare this to an alternate fixed income investment such as bonds, CDs, or GICs, which averages 2% pre-tax over the long term, or equities, which average 8% pre-tax over the long term. So there you have it, 27 reasons why a participating whole life insurance policy is the most powerful financial asset to own if you can qualify to get it. Why then would you want to invest in any other investment class? Here now are some examples of real-life applications of what has been suggested here. In 1929, J.C. Penney used the cash value in his life insurance policies to meet the payroll and day-to-day expenses of his department store, J.C. Penney. This allowed the company to ultimately rebound from the Great Depression. Today, the company has an annual revenue of $18 billion. In 1955, Walt Disney borrowed against the cash value of his life insurance policy to help finance the creation of his new theme park, Disneyland. In 1961, Ray Kroc, the CEO of McDonald's, borrowed from his life insurance policies to buy out his partners, the McDonald brothers. He also used the funds to pay for the marketing campaign for his new mascot, Ronald McDonald. In 1980, Doris Christopher, the CEO of Pampered Chef, used a policy loan of $3,000 to start her new kitchenware company. The company was later purchased by Warren Buffett's Berkshire Hathaway for $1.5 billion. Citibank has over $4 billion in permanent life insurance cash value sitting on its balance sheet. The Bank of America maintains $15 billion on its corporate balance sheet in the form of permanent life insurance cash values, 2 times what it has in real estate and 100% more than what it has in the company's defined benefit plan. JP Morgan has 39% of its Tier 1 capital in cash value life insurance, and General Electric owns 4,400 participating whole life policies on its top executives, including its CEO. My name is Moni Singh, and I'm the founder of Rune 153 Financial Advisors. I can be reached at 1-800-480-0012 or via email at msingh@rune153.com. Thank you for your attention, and may God bless you.